Dear learners, I, Nitin Pote from Government Polytechnic Brahmapuri, welcome you to this video lecture on presentation skills. After watching this video, you will be able to state different elements of presentation, design effective PowerPoint presentation, use non-verbal codes appropriately during presentation, and deliver presentation effectively. In this video, I am going to cover these 3 points: basic elements of presentation, how to make an effective presentation, and do's and don'ts of presentation. Part 1. Here are the basic elements of presentation: audience, organizing, voice and language, body language, and visuals. Let us discuss all these elements in detail. Dear learners, if you want to become an effective presenter, keep in mind you have to collect information about the audience related to their age group, which language do they know, their education, what is the size of the audience going to attend your presentation, that is whether it is large size or small size group of audience, their cultural background, objectives in their mind, and their experience. If you have this information about the audience, then your presentation will certainly lead to effective presentation. Next is organizing presentation. Here are the stages for making the presentation successful. Number 1 is planning. Once we decide the topic of presentation, the planning starts. Then it is said that if we fail to plan, we plan to fail. Means it is very necessary for us to plan our presentation in order to make it effective. After planning, we should decide the outline of our presentation. So every presentation should have 3 parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. In this way, then comes mind mapping. Mind mapping is a very crucial stage in organizing presentation, because when we read the material related to the topic, number of ideas are generated in our mind. The ideas are in scattered manner, but if we note down the ideas on page, and then we can map the ideas, so that it will be helpful for us to make the presentation a good one. After mind mapping, we should note down the ideas in a proper flow. Then we should also think about the timing, how much time is allocated for us for the presentation, and we should be able to complete our presentation within that stipulated time. Then summary. Voice and language is also an important element of presentation. What are the aspects of our voice? Pace, tone, pause, volume. These 4 are very important aspects of our voice. It is said that speech is silver but silence is golden. So pauses have their own importance in presentation. Just imagine if a presenter is speaking without pauses. What will happen? Audience will not understand anything. So it is necessary to make use of appropriate pauses at appropriate time. Pace. Pace is a very important aspect of our voice. We should not speak so fast or so slow, we should maintain proper pace, that is speed of our words per minute. Tone, there are rising tone, falling tone. So when we are delivering presentation, we should make use of variation in our tone. Monotone makes the audience boring. Volume. Volume is also an important aspect of our voice. We should make use of optimum voice. Speak audibly. Next is body language. In body language, there are eye contact, facial expressions, and posture. Dear learners, it should be kept in mind that body language plays a crucial role in presentation, because not only the slides, not only the words are communicating to the audience, but also your body language, your entire body communicates. So eye contact, maintain eye contact when you are delivering presentation. Facial expressions, you should always start your presentation with a smile on your face, because smile takes a person miles, and smile works as a bridge between you and the audience. So start your presentation with a smile. Posture, a very important part of body language. Don't lean on podium, it gives negative meaning. Don't fold your arms across your chest, because it gives the meaning that you are trying to protect yourselves. Move while presenting. It is good that when you are delivering presentation, you should keep moving on the dais, not so frequently, but meanwhile. So the audience enjoys the dynamic nature of your presentation. Then comes visuals. Visuals are nowadays an embedded and important part of presentation, because a picture is like 1,000 words. A picture can communicate the meaning of 1,000 words. So very important aspect or element. You should use topic specific templates for presentation. You can use charts, diagrams, illustrations or videos into your presentation. Use minimum images if necessary. Now here there is advice. If you are making use of an image, you should use the image in such a manner that it should not cover more than 1/3 of the slide. Then don't overuse animation, because overuse of animation will cause distraction rather than attention. Use light color background and dark color foreground. Vice versa can also be possible. Part 2. Dear learners, now you have a question here. I request you to pause this video for a while and respond to this question by writing the responses in your notebook. How to make an effective presentation? So you can think about pre-presentation activities, during presentation activities and post-presentation activities, which will make the presentation effective. Okay, play the video now. Fine. In pre-presentation, there are 4 things which we can look after. Number 1 is making notes. When we are reading the material for our presentation, we should make notes. At the same time, we can also make use of prompt cards. These cards will help us to understand and remember the sequence of the slides. We should also anticipate FAQs, frequently asked questions, so that our presentation will be effective. Next is rehearse. Once your presentation is done, you should practice your presentation number of times. Nowadays, with the help of smartphone, you can record your presentation, show it to your classmates, your family members, or you can yourself watch that video or audio and then improve if possible whenever necessary. Then comes collection of materials. Dear learners, before our presentation starts, we should collect required materials for our presentation like stationery items and equipments. For presentation, we require LCD projector, laptop. Then we should also check the electricity. If they are properly functioning, then there is no problem. Otherwise, we can repair them or we can make them proper. Last is feedback. Before our presentation ends, the feedback form in print format or in link format should be ready. So this is pre-presentation. Next is during presentation. During presentation, we should have an interactive introduction. So it should not be one-way presentation only. You should try to make the audience involved. Explain the points with anecdotes. So this is a personal touch you should give to your presentation. Be aware of posture, very important. Consciously or unconsciously, we behave in such a way that it gives negative meaning message to our audience. So try to be aware of the posture. Mention time to handle questions. You should mention the time to handle the questions of the audience so that the audience will not interrupt you during your presentation. Manage time. You should start and end your presentation within the time frame given by the organizers. Post presentation, you should summarize the presentation, then handle questions confidently, be friendly, keep cool. Now sometimes what happens, there are certain questions by the audience which may provoke you, but you should remain cool. You should not get angry. You should handle the situation properly, calmly. You should repeat the question loudly for assurance whether you have listened to the question properly or not. You can make assurance and say you will get back if you are unaware of the answer or ignorant of the answer. Do's of presentation. When you are making presentation, you should keep in mind these things. Number 1, create minimum slides. Your presentation should not be overcrowded with slides. Use simple language. Complex language is avoided. Follow 6x6 rule. 6x6 rules means that your slide should have 6 lines maximum and each line should consist of 6 words, not more than that. One slide should have only one idea. Make attractive slides so that you can be able to grab the attention of the audience and make optimum use of visuals, not much. Now here are don'ts of presentation. Don't read directly from slides. If you keep reading the slides and you are not maintaining eye contact with the audience, your audience will lose their attention. Don't use irrelevant images. Don't use too many short forms. Don't use small font as it is difficult for them to read, and we should not use uppercase because it shows that someone is shouting. Don't apologize unnecessarily. Yes, we are at the end now. Basic elements of presentation are audience, organizing, voice and language, body language and visuals. Dear learners, we have also discussed how to make an effective presentation. So it consists of 3 parts: pre-presentation, during presentation and post-presentation activities. We also discussed some do's and don'ts for making presentation effective. So that's it. Thank you very much for having watched this video. Happy learning. Thanks.